Hello everyone, welcome to Current Affairs for Beginners, a unique initiative by Law Excellence to help the beginners while reading Hindu newspaper. Before starting our today's discussion, let's see what are the answers for the questions from yesterday's video. Consider the following statements about National Company Law Tribunal. National Company Law Tribunal is a quasi-judicial body. The statement is correct. National Company Law Tribunal was established under Companies Act of 2003. It is 2013, not 2003. So select the correct answer using the code below. As the second statement is wrong, it is only one. The answer is A. The second question is, consider the following statements. World Intellectual Property Organization Copyright Treaty came into force in 2002. This statement is correct. It is a special arrangement under Berne Convention. Yes, it is a special agreement under Berne Convention to recognize literary and artistic works, and it also recognized the rights that were specific to digital environment. Select the correct answer using the code below. As both the statements were correct, the answer here is C, 1 and 2. Now let's start our today's discussion. Our first article is Give Legal Backing to Minimum Support Price, says panel. From this article, today we'll see various facts that will come in handy while preparation. In our previous video, we have already seen what is meant by minimum support price. It is the price at which the government will buy crop from farmers at the price that was announced by the government for certain specific crops prior to sowing season. Why this minimum support price was announced? If there is a fall in prices after the harvest, then to help the farmers from incurring losses, the government has introduced this minimum support price scheme. For example, if the government has set the minimum support price of paddy per quintal at 1000 rupees. After harvest, if the market price for paddy per quintal is 800 rupees, then the government will purchase the crop from farmers at 1000 rupees, which was announced prior to sowing season. And this minimum support price will be decided by the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. Till this part we have already seen on our previous videos. Now we'll see who is responsible for recommending this minimum support price to the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. It is the Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices, which is a statutory panel under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare that is responsible for recommending this minimum support prices. But the recommendations given by this CACP is not binding on the government. This CACP will recommend this minimum support price based on certain factors like cost of production, which has two components like A2 and FL. A2 means the cost that was incurred by the farmers to buy seeds, fertilizers, irrigation costs, etc. Whereas FL is the unpaid family labor. These two components together comprise cost of production. But as promised by the government in this year's budget, that it will hike the minimum support price by 50% of this cost of production. This year, the government has set the minimum support price for 14 kharif crops as cost of production, that is A2 plus FL plus 50% of the cost of production. This is the minimum support price that was set by the government for this year 14 kharif crops, which includes paddy, jowar, bajra, etc. Our next article is Allow Gambling in Sports but Regulate It, says Law Panel. In this article, the Law Commission's report, Legal Framework, that is Gambling and Sports Betting, including cricket in India. In this report by the Law Commission, it has recommended certain changes in the law to regulate betting and generating taxes from it. The Law Commission has recommended that gambling and betting in sports, including cricket, should be legalized, like it was done in various European countries, American and African countries. And it recommended the government that these activities should be taxable under direct tax regime, that is as per Income Tax Act, and indirect tax regime, that is as per GST Act. And these regulations should become a source for attracting the foreign direct investment. And it said that the revenue that was generated from these sources should be used for public welfare schemes. The other suggestions that were given by this commission were, it said the Parliament can enact a model law for regulating the gambling that can be adopted by the states. Parliament to enact a model law to regulate gambling. And Parliament can legislate this while exercising its powers under Article 249 or Article 252 of the Constitution. And the Commission has recommended to link Aadhaar or PAN card of an individual who is indulging in betting and gambling and make these transactions cashless in order to regulate the illegal activities like money laundering and match fixing. And the Commission has recommended to amend the laws that were related to the forex reserves and India's FDI policy to allow the investments in casinos and online gaming industry. If we see what are the possible impacts by implementing these recommendations are, by allowing the FDI into this industry, it will bring substantial amounts of investments to the states that permit these casinos, which will ultimately propel the growth of tourism and hospitality industries. And the revenues that were generated can be used for public welfare schemes. And it will also enable the states to generate higher revenue and employment opportunities. From prelims point of view, from this article, you should focus on Law Commission and Article 249 and 252. Our next article is This Aborted Mission is a Success. As we know that ISRO is planning to send a human space mission, it is developing its own crew escape system that was already developed by US, Russia and China. So yesterday it has tested its first test on this crew escape system called Pad Abort. This crew escape system is an emergency escape measure that will be used to quickly pull the crew module, which is the astronaut cabin. It will pull the crew module along with astronauts into a safe distance from the launch vehicle in case of any accident or urgency. This will save the lives of astronauts in an exigency. That means if there is any urgency or there is any accident. And this was the first pad abort test that was conducted by ISRO at Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota. From prelims point of view, it is important to know what is this pad abort test and its particulars. Our next article is India-US set to mend trade ties. From this article, we are going to learn about a concept called generalized system preferences. Generalized system preferences is a preferential tariff system that was adopted based on the rules of World Trade Organization by the developed countries to reduce or provide duty-free entry to certain goods into their markets to the developing and least developed countries. As per this article, US has also adopted this trade preference program under which a wide range of industrial and agricultural products from various countries, that is developing countries, will be given preferential access to the US markets. That means a duty-free entry will be given into the US markets. Now let us see what are the benefits to India of this GSP. Our Indian exporters will get benefited first, as their exports were given duty-free entry. That means there were no tariffs, and by removing this import duty on our products, it is making our product globally competitive. Here in this case, our product will become competitive in US market, and our exporters can penetrate into the market and they can increase their market share. These are the various benefits under this generalized system preferences. Now let's see the questions from our today's video. Consider the following statements. Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices is a statutory panel under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, and its recommendations on MSP are binding on the government. Select the correct answer using the code below. Second question is, generalized system of preferences is related to which of the following organizations? Try to answer these questions and post them in the comment box, and answers for these questions will be explained in detail in tomorrow's video. Thank you. The next question is, generalized system of preferences is related to which of the following? Try to answer these questions and post them in the comment box, and the detailed explanation for these videos will be done in tomorrow's video. Thank you.